Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're gonna be experiencing this narrative novel fan fiction, whatever it is. So this is a favorite fiction of the Loud House. And I decided to add like the worst or the best way that I put the narrator's thing on there. So yeah, we're gonna just gonna hear it. We're gonna start from the drive to like maybe see a therapist. Yeah, but I don't think I should scroll back because yeah. Okay. Let's get started. Let me just see. Let me check. Okay. All right. Let's do this.
The drive back home felt like hours for Lynn Sr., even though the hospital was only 30 minutes down the road. With Rita staying with their son until he had awakened, someone needed to go home and find out what the hell made the nine sisters lash out at their brother. Lynn also supposed it would have been better if he dealt with the girls first, seeing as Rita might end up doing something so severe even she would regret it later on. The father would have taken Lily with him, but she clung to her brother like a vice, adamant on not leaving his side. While driving, a long list ran through Lynn's head on how to punish his daughters. He wasn't even sure if a simple grounding would do, and regrettably, an idea cropped up about spanking his own children. Both Loud parents were usually against the idea of physically assaulting their kin, as they considered it immoral and might cause even more rift in the already fragile bond the family had. But given the circumstances, such an option was now justified. Another idea that came to mind was having the daughters visit Rita's Aunt Ruth every week. All of the kids hated her visits due to their aunt's constant need for attention, whether it was showing them old pictures of past vacations or worse, tending to the blisters on her feet. Lynn Sr. cringed at the thought. But it would help enforce a point. He would have to make up his mind soon, cause before he knew it, the family wagon was pulling into the driveway. The house was deathly silent as the Loud patriarch entered the house. Glancing around, he saw Lenny on the couch with a tear-stained face and blood-red eyes. Well, at least Lenny seems upset about the whole thing. But about the others? Lynn Sr. wondered. Taking a deep breath, he summoned his commanding voice.
He's not gonna yell at
Girls. Living room, now. Almost immediately, the other residents of the house made their way to the couch. Even Lynn Jr., who was still outside, heard him. Studying the looks of his daughters, it was evident some had been crying, still had deep frowns of self-guilt, or in Lana and Lola's case, had gotten into another scrap with each other. Over what, he didn't know, or care for the moment. He was surprised to see that Lucy's eyes were no longer hidden. Holding a stern look, I suppose you all know what we're here to talk about. They all nodded. Then he asked the soul-piercing question. Why? There was some initial hesitation from the nine sisters. Their reasons varied from why they acted so cruelly to their male sibling, but in the end, it boiled down to one simple thing. After realizing that the arguments that started yesterday were partially caused by our brother, we ended up realizing by accidentally spilling secrets we had about each other, he was the root cause of our conflict. But Lisa took her glasses off, clearing her eyes again. She couldn't even speak in her usual monotone as her voice was cracking even further. I'm not sure if it's the same for everyone else, but I was also reminded of his other misdeeds and traits that made him an annoyance, and at this point Lisa broke down and started crying like an actual 4-year-old. I lost control of my anger. I even stomped on his mentula twice. Everyone was a little confused by that last part,
she was 4 years
so
old.
she clarified. His genitalia. The others gasped, and even Lynn Sr. had instinctively moved a hand over his package. At this point, then Lynn Jr. spoke, equally at fault for causing some damage. I twisted one of his arms until I thought I heard the bone snap. Lola then spoke. I'm pretty sure I knocked a few of his teeth out. She glanced over at the blood patches still in the carpet. Lynn Sr. sighed. Anything else you girls want to say what you did to your brother?
Here comes the big
After
action.
getting no response, he continued. Well then, I hope you girls got what you wanted out of that fight. Your brother, your only brother might I add, is going to be spending close to a month in the hospital. Not only does he have the injuries 3 of you are clearly responsible for, he also had his nose broken, his pelvis damaged along with his ribs,
Holy shit.
and he suffered some blows to his head. All because the 9 of you couldn't keep a lid on your anger. His voice boomed, the sisters visibly shaking.
I wonder
And
what
just
happens
so
if it
you
looks
know,
like they're...
saying
oh,
you're
shit.
sorry isn't going to cut it this time, ladies. The father sighed before sitting in a nearby chair. Myself and your mother trusted all of you with one thing,
Is he
that you
talking
could
normally
handle
now?
yourselves without much injury. That's the reason why this whole sister fight protocol nonsense came about. But apparently,
Okay, he was part
none
of
of you
this
can
too,
be
you know,
trusted,
even
seeing it went
Rita.
out of control very quickly. So from now on, anytime you girls start having a fight with one another, myself and your mother will handle it how we see fit. I've lost a lot of trust and respect for you all.
Well, damn.
He placed a hand on his forehead in frustration. Normally I would discuss with Rita first, but since she's staying with Lincoln for possibly the whole evening, I'll be saying this. You're all grounded indefinitely. Internet uses
I'm pretty
strictly
sure that's
for school
too
use
far,
only,
but
and any cartoons on TV will be blocked. Lori, your phone is getting parental settings on it, and you're forbidden from speaking with your boyfriend. Your driving privileges are also severely limited. The only places you can go are to school and
She
work.
doesn't go there
The oldest
yet.
sibling looked at the floor in shame.
No,
Lenny,
don't.
you are no longer allowed to do anything fashion-related, and you can forget about daily trips to the mall. The blonde whimpered. Luna, no more concerts for you.
No, not
Along
Luna.
with that,
Not the
all
sexy
of your
one.
musical gear will be put in storage.
I know he's talking
You're
normally, but
lucky
it's
I'll be
really,
letting you
it's so
keep your
confusing.
MP3 player. The brunette nodded, sniffling a bit. Lewin. It pains me to say this, but you
No,
are
not the
forbidden from
ponytail
doing
one.
anything related to comedy.
Okay, just stop
No
right
more
here.
puns. You cannot
here.
do any more
See what
of
that
your
line is,
video
guys?
blogs, and
Yeah.
your funny business
Maybe I should
job is
stop- yeah.
also out the window.
No.
The Joker
no,
saw
no.
this coming, but it still pained her to hear that. Lynn Jr., you're banned from playing all sports. Your sporting equipment will also be put in storage, and for breaking your brother's arm, you're not allowed to wear anything dealing with sports, or turn anything into a sport. The jock nodded, fresh tears creeping from her eyes. Lynn Sr. looked at Lucy next,
Who's shaking?
who was visibly shaking.
nailed it.
She was gonna be tough since she's usually,
No.
mellow. But, he did have
No,
something
yellow.
figured out. Lucy, you're forbidden from writing any poems. Your book will be kept in my and Rita's room, and anything dealing vampires or darkness in your room will be thrown out.
Sure, it's going a
The
little too
goth gasped
far.
in shock, but didn't say
Pretty sure
anything afterwards.
both of them are parties too.
Next came the twins.
Oh no.
Lana, no mud-related things for you, and you are to keep yourself clean. And all of your exotic pets will be taken to the local animal shelter to be cared for. Can't promise if they won't be given to new families. The tomboy's heart literally shattered upon that statement.
Did she swallow the heart?
Lola, pageants are forbidden, and you can no longer dress like a princess. Along with that, your tiaras and gowns will be put into storage. The little not-so-princess cried silently. Lastly, Lisa. Your lab is going to be given to charity, or maybe the university. I'll have to think on that. Also, you're going to help pay for Lincoln's medical bill. I didn't this before, but your brother also required surgery to be done to him. The 9 siblings
Oh no,
audibly
here
gasped at
comes
this.
the second one.
Lynn Sr. then decided to add more icing
Second,
to the cake.
no, not that one. The
Lastly,
next one.
visits to Aunt Ruth will happen on a weekly basis. The girls were now terrified. Just as he thought,
It's
the
like
girls
seeing
cringed at the idea of going over to their great-aunt's house, well besides Lana, but even she didn't like seeing Ruth too often. At any point should you test the
Oh
waters
no,
of
here
your
it comes.
punishment. The father then did something he thought he'd never have to do. He took off his belt and placed it on the table. All of the siblings literally paled as they stared at it, as if the devil was smiling at them from the inanimate object. Now go upstairs and think about what you've done.
No.
That's
Without
not
missing a
good.
beat, children ran for their lives. Lynn Sr. almost wanted to cry from what he did,
Oh,
but it
cry!
had to be done. He already stated the ground rules,
What have you
and
done?
there was no going back. Still,
I wish he would have made
he
his
felt sick
mistake.
to his stomach. Carefully, he put his belt back on and went to his room, needing to lie down for a while. Maybe I should consult a family therapist too.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. That was the narrative that I wanted to do that one because it was better and everything. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would do another one in the meantime, but yeah, so I will personally do that one. I'll do another best one for the next chapter, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!